what's going on, guys? My name is Matt Charlton from MSI Tech, and the space of GPUs that you can actually afford to buy at home just keeps getting worse by the day. Now, it's no secret that there is currently a memory crisis which is affecting pricing of all types of hardware, particularly that of GPUs. But while we've had a lot of behind the scenes speculation, price adjusting, and unofficial comments that have been revoked based on is a product actually in supply, is it being discontinued or not, we actually have some official words spoken on the current supply issues and the actual effects that this is officially going to have. So sit back and try to relax as we dive into what MSI has called the most difficult year it has ever faced. Now, it's no secret that there is currently a GPU supply crisis and memory supply crisis, and this issue only continues to worsen, and a lot of GPU manufacturers that have been adding board partners are facing it so difficult to produce enough GPUs, especially adding board partners where they are mainly consumer facing. Now, it doesn't matter, NVIDIA being the supplier of a lot of GPUs, they can sell direct to businesses, they're making the most money, they don't have an issue if they're going to make a shortfall, they're not going to have the issue if they can last another year because, well, they don't need to rely on consumer sales because they are selling directly to businesses. MSI has officially come out and said that NVIDIA GPU supply is down by 20% and GPU prices could rise by up to 30%. Now, as the whole AI memory supply crisis has taken hold of the world, we have seen the likes of NVIDIA and even AMD pivot and focus their supply and manufacturing efforts on the high-end enterprise customers, the type of product where they can extract the most profit margin out of, whereas with consumer GPU sales, despite rising costs, it has become a rounding error on NVIDIA's earnings sheet, whereas only 10 years ago, GeForce was, the main moneymaker for NVIDIA. And both NVIDIA and AMD have been stealthily increasing GPU prices in previous months. So they've never come out and officially announced that this thing is in reduced supply and we're officially raising the prices. They've not done any of that, and instead they've just continued to try and put it on these add-in board partners as to why the prices are going up, opposed to officially confirming that they themselves are responsible for the prices rising. But it's important to note that AMD RDNA 4 based GPUs have seen some pricing relief in recent weeks. But NVIDIA, on the other hand, has continued to increase prices for the RTX 50 series due to strong demand. Now, following a new report, it's expected that prices will continue to increase even more in the coming days, which the current squeeze that NVIDIA is having on consumers just wanting to buy GPUs has been evident in the fact that the AMD Radeon RX 9070 XT weekly sales have actually increased and recently accounted for 25% of all GPU sales according to Mindfactory. MSI themselves have come out and addressed the situation directly, claiming that NVIDIA is not providing enough chips to meet the demand. It says that the GPU supply from NVIDIA has dropped by nearly 20%, though they're not explicitly stating from when that was. As NVIDIA has been adjusting supply over the last year, and it's been no secret that the supply constraints on the RTX 50 series have become worse and worse as time has gone on. So when has this 20% drop actually occurred? Remains to be seen. Realistically, the numbers could be much greater. And now the president of MSI says that 2026 has been the most difficult year since the company was founded, and now it has no choice but to raise GPU prices yet again. And they have claimed it is facing both memory and GPU shortages. NVIDIA is reportedly not delivering enough chips for making these GPUs, which is why MSI is now prepared 3 strategies this year to try and survive this market. They have said that they will focus on high-end RTX 50 series GPUs, reducing the share of lower models by nearly 30%. And when MSI was then questioned by other press outlets, they said that the 20% cut will include all of the SKUs. And now the other 2 strategies that they are implementing include signing long-term contracts with memory suppliers in order to be able to meet the current demand, and also expanding into the server and more enterprise business. Now, MSI reportedly is targeting 50 to 100% revenue growth in the server business over the next 5 years, which is good for you and me because we're not buying server hardware just to be able to afford a basic gaming PC. So, good for you, MSI. And for the mainstream market, it's now planning to increase prices by around 15 to 30% just for a GPU, which has already been inflated on top of this new price rise. So while MSI may try and say that, oh, it's a difficult year for us, oh well, we'll just increase the prices anyway. So it makes no difference to our bottom line because at the end of the day, GPU manufacturers and all types of companies will say they're struggling because the line's not gone up as high as they wanted, even though it's still year on end increasing, and they try and use that excuse to try and price gouge you more, even though they're as rich as they have ever been. Which is certainly true for the likes of MSI, the likes of Asus, but where this is going to see the biggest impact is in so smaller add-in board partners. Over the last few years before this memory crisis even hit our shelves, the likes of NVIDIA pulling out of the GPU market due to how NVIDIA was treating them and how tight their profit margins really were. And now this whole memory and GPU supply crisis that is currently plaguing the market has ensured that that profit margin has decreased even more for these add-in board partners, and the only way that they can compete is to dramatically increase the price to account for that supply margin that has been built on them when they're creating the card to begin with, but also at the point of sale because they have to try and claw back any percentage of that profit margin they can. We've seen reports recently from the likes of Zotac. They're really struggling at the moment in this space because, well, consumer GPUs are their primary market, whereas MSI, they have their hand in lots of different portions of the market. Same for Asus, they make laptops, desktops, other products. They really diversify their product stack, making CPU coolers, cases, all types of components, peripherals, monitors. So a company like MSI, which have their hands in many pies in the market, can ride the wave, whereas people like Zotac and other smaller add-in board partners, quite frankly, I think this year could potentially see many of those smaller add-in board partners that we have known for years fade from existence. EVGA is a prime example before this whole crisis of a struggling company, which has quite frankly faded more into obscurity as of lately because, well, GPUs was their main market. Now, despite them having fingers in other pies such as the power supply business, it's not been enough to really sustain them and keep them alive as a big option in the market, whereas the likes of Asus and MSI, they can ride the wave, but most people can't. Then in turn, you at home can't ride the wave and can't afford to build a PC. You can't afford to buy RAM in your system. You can't afford a GPU because the prices are just so crazy at the moment, and well, it's only going to get worse. The price of inflation, energy costs are expected to be soaring. Other aspects of the semiconductor supply chain are being disrupted at the moment with conflicts such as what's happening in the Middle East at the moment, meaning your buying power is going to be even more diminished because you're going to have extra costs due to inflation. Your GPUs are going to cost more, and you at home, great, everything's gone up by 30 to 50%, but it's okay because we've just approved you a pay deal for 2% more, which then decreases your buying power even more because it's not in line with your wage to begin with. This is looking like to be truly one of the worst years in the PC market. We have survived the demand during COVID. We have survived the demand during the cryptocurrency crisis. But this one, it looks like to be the worst because, well, all that focus is going on AI data centers, AI hardware, where there's so much money being pumped in, way more than any cryptocurrency miner, any cryptocurrency operation, any high-end demand gaming GPU, because everyone inside, the amount of money is so disproportionate to anything we have seen. So it sees businesses who chase the line, constantly chase line go up. Of course they're going to pivot to what is going to make the line go up the most and leave you at home in the dust because well, who cares? Well, I certainly do, but these massive global conglomerates, they just see you as a potential number, and if you're not a valuable number to them anymore, why would they bother to entertain you? And now, of course, the blame isn't that of just MSI and other adding board partners. Now, of course, MSI is a big prime example because they're a large company that can afford to somewhat ride the wave. Even though, yes, I understand that they do have to increase prices a little bit here and here. But the companies that can ride the wave the most are the companies introducing the highest price rises. But yes, I do understand memory prices by around 4 to 5 times in recent history. I mean, we have even seen some motherboard vendors switch their focus back to DDR4 platform motherboards to try and tackle this situation. And I also want to note, ASRock yesterday unveiled that they are bringing to market a hybrid motherboard which supports both DDR4 and DDR5, which just highlights how cooked the industry truly is at the moment. My thoughts on this are, of course, that this is a terrible situation. I think I've spoken. I've given more than my fair share of thoughts and opinions around this whole issue about the memory supply crisis. But as someone who wants to make content around tech at the moment and try and get excited and inspire people to be the next generation of tech developers and people in the industry, like how YouTubers beforehand got me in the industry, it really is daunting. I want to be excited for tech. I want to bring exciting content. You know, when I used to make content around technology 2 years ago, you know, I used to flap my hands a lot more because I had a lot more excitement, a lot more things I could be excited for. You know, I was flappy hands all the time because excited. Look, I can get new hardware soon. But now I'm just left disappointed and well depressed, even though I'm trying to bring that positivity to the tech and try and focus on interesting things in the industry, because there are a lot of good things happening and a lot of good innovation. But in terms of innovation that trickles down to what you can experience and what will enrich your life at the moment, it's very limited. While I am a user-first advocate, I, of course, am in the AI industry, so to a certain extent, I am contributing to this problem, and that is something that I'm trying to balance on this channel. Is I want to bring actual tech that people can actually use at home, so that's why a lot of my AI research does focus on development of AI that you can actually run on your system at home, working on optimization of AI pipelines and creating AI tools that empower the user and to benefit you and benefit the user at home, and also AI tools in the space of assistive tools and medical research. So while I'm trying to guide my research in the space of AI towards things that are actually good for society, I still have to acknowledge that all of this data still has to be trained on large data centers and still uses large amounts of memory, large amounts of data, to then be able to then scale down into tools that are deployable on local systems. It's still that development pipeline, the conception of these models still require this vast amount of data centers. So I am aware that directly or indirectly, someone like me is having an impact, and I'm very conscious of it, and I want to be an AI developer that empowers the user and seeks for a better solution to what there is now, because it's unsustainable and not good for anyone in the long term. But I will continue to do my best in my spare time when I rant on camera, because, well, this is purely a hobby of me ranting on camera, trying to bring you tech content is purely a hobby, and I want that to be fun and exciting and to inspire other people and provide an actual meaningful resource to people. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions around this in the comments down below. What do you think of the current AI crisis? Of course, most people, unless you're some corporate shill, it's not going to be a good opinion. But regardless, let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. Anyway, I've been Madison Charlton from MSI Tech. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Goodbye for now.